the VDMA CEO's Thought Leadership Series. And pleasure for me today to welcome Mr. Laszlo Posset, who is the Managing Director of T-Systems India since 2016. He has over 30 years of rich experience in the global information and communication technology industry. He has done his bachelor's from 𝐵𝐵𝐴 University in 1987, diploma in physics, which is in Romania. So a hearty welcome to you, Laszlo, to this edition of the VDMA CEO's Thought Leadership Series.
Thank you, Rajesh, for inviting me. It's my pleasure and honor to be part of your session, and looking forward to our conversation.
Right. Laszlo, you came to India in 2004. So what we would like to understand is what got you to India that time, Laszlo, in 2004?
Okay, very good question, and I'm excited to speak about the time which I did spend in India. But maybe just to get a first introduction, you spoke about my studies, which I did in Romania. And this means that I was born in Eastern Europe, in Romania, where I grew up. I did teach physics. And then in 1989, I have taken a strong decision to leave the communism and move towards to the western part of Europe, to Germany, where my origins are. In '89, I have had the pleasure, or I was witness of the biggest changes which happened in Europe with the fall of the wall in Eastern Europe, but also in Berlin. So, and I was the most happiest person to start my career within a great company, which is Deutsche Telekom. 30 years ago, I did study some informatics before started my career as software developer at Deutsche Telekom. And in 2000 happened when Deutsche Telekom has taken the decision to grow the IT business by taking over the IT unit of Daimler with 17,000 employees. Daimler is well known to us. It was a merge which led then to the birthday of T-Systems in the year 2000. I was part of it from the very first days, and one of the strategies of the company was to grow as well internationally, but by also establishing, let's say, a presence in the region where the talents are, the scalable talents, which is India. So in 2004, the company has asked me to come over just for 2 weeks to help to start with a critical project to one of our clients. And you know what happens if you come to India. So you fall in love in all the opportunities you find here. And I did learn a lot during this time. I met beautiful minds and difficult critical situations, but I did learn a lot. And I did continue my project. And I did had the chance to set up the operations, the first systems integration operation delivery center of these systems here in India. So it took then the first 4 years, and then we entered in a partnership, and then I did take some other additional roles in Asia Pacific, and in the year 2016, based on a, let's say, stronger and strategic decision of our headquarters, following also our clients' wishes to bring the Magenta DNA to India, I came back and reopened the development center in Pune and in Bangalore. And now 5 years already since I'm again here back and having the great chance to grow the company in order to bring added values to our clients of T-Systems and of Deutsche Telekom, being our mother organization. So that's my story about coming to India and staying and yes, doing great business here in the region.
That's very interesting, and thank you, Laszlo, for sharing the story. And I think even our viewers, when they can feel the passion you have for India from the way you have spoken and mentioned about India. So I think it's really very nice, and wish you further also a lot of success, and hopefully your love for India continues in the future also, Laszlo.
Yes, it will. It will. Some people are always telling me, Laszlo, you are already a Puneker, because I'm spending most of my time here in Pune, where our headquarters is. But yes, we do have presence office in Bangalore as well, and did set up already units in Gurgaon, and so we are present and we are happy to be here. And that's a great opportunity for me, not only personally, but also to be part of this fast-growing development, which I believe that you know very well, especially in cooperation and in collaboration with the German industry and Chamber of Commerce. We have, let's say, hundreds of German companies doing great business here in India. And this is which I'm also happy and part of it.
Right. Laszlo, let's come to the pandemic. Actually, during the pandemic crisis, companies had to redefine organization goals and objectives, and they had to prioritize the health and safety of employees actually, and build a sustainable business plan, also continuity plan. Can you highlight, Laszlo, some of the initiatives or endeavors taken by T-Systems here in India as well as in Germany? If you could briefly highlight some of the initiatives, Laszlo.
Yes, yes. As all of us, we have been shocked by the crisis, by the pandemic, which did hit us and worldwide, which happened last year. So, as I said, being part of a great company, which is Deutsche Telekom, we do have a global presence in 60 countries with Deutsche Telekom, and we do have centrally a unit called Group Situation Center, where we all work together, we report together the situation which happens in the geographies, what happens with our employees, what happens with our partners, with our clients. And that's why, if I may speak about these, then I'm speaking as a part of our central, let's say, centrally organized and well-structured, and you know the German quality-driven approach, and everything well-planned, structured. So we did initiate already early talks beginning of last year when the first signals came out. We did work on our BCP plans, how to ensure that we can continue to run critical infrastructure for our consumers, for our clients. Critical infrastructure means as a leading telco company, and we know today very well that without these connectivities which telco companies are offering to us, we would not have been able to survive in this critical situation where everyone was sent home and we have been not able to travel, we have been just able to operate from home. That's why one of the most important steps was at the very beginning of last year to put efforts in order to make our infrastructure 24/7 working for consumers, for clients of Deutsche Telekom, of T-Systems. But the most important is the healthy and the safety of our employees. That's something which is also part of our, let's say, guiding principles, that people are the most important assets of our organization. Without them, we would not be able to build services, we would not be able to serve our clients. That's why the most important part was how to ensure the safety and the health of our employees. That was not only centrally driven, but also in all our units. Here in India, certainly it was end of March last year when we have been asked, to go home. Lockdown came. Yes. We have the first steps. We have ensured to give to every employee a face mask, N95, and sanitizers, and then we continued the care of our employees and of their families by offering them 24/7 support. We have here great teams, not only centrally but also locally. Unfortunately, when the second wave came, no, just in this year, so I have been here in Pune, and while after flying back to Germany, I have been told that I'm not able anymore to come back with my scheduled next flight. But then, when the crisis came, then the first step was within a couple of hours from our headquarters. We have received an immediate financial aid. My CEO Adele has taken a short-term decision just to allocate €100,000 immediately over the night to help the needy people who are impacted and need financial support. When a couple of days later we have realized that we have difficulties in the hospital beds and oxygen concentrators, we have organized within just a couple of days 30 oxygen concentrators together with my colleagues from the central organization from T-Systems and from Deutsche Telekom. We airlifted and distributed here across the 3 locations, Pune, Bangalore, Gurgaon, and made the concentrators available for all our employees who were in need and also for their family members. That was something as an immediate support. Certainly, we did continue to increase our insurance coverage package, you know, to cover all the necessary additional expenditures. We do have a portal on which employees are getting online all kind of support, not only advisors, but also, let's say, around the clock, to make them feeling safe and comfortable and being supported with all the advice which our company can offer. And, you know, many other activities. Yes, certainly the vaccination drive which we have organized. We just cover 1,400 colleagues, 1,400 people. Also, family members have been vaccinated here in Pune and in Bangalore and in Gurgaon. And we are organizing the next drive on 11th of September. That means we continue all these activities. Certainly, we got more experience how to do it, how to treat situation. Unfortunately, yes, we do have more than 270 cases of impacted employees within the company. Today, with the size of 2,500 employees across 2 locations, Pune and Bangalore, this is something more than 10%. But happily, all these colleagues are now recovered. Unfortunately, we lost two colleagues in this pandemic crisis situation. But we are looking forward and hoping that situation will become better. And so that's in a nutshell. We continue today also with our headquarters to follow up all the necessary activities what we can additionally offer, like providing connectivity to our employees wherever they work and are connected. All of our employees are having a laptop. Not all of them are working out of our base locations, but some of them are in the rural region, living together with their parents, but they are well connected. We did reimburse their expenditures to get the necessary Wi-Fi and remote access connectivity. So these are the tasks which we ensure to have them in a safety environment. At the same time, certainly concentrating also on how to fulfill and to ensure the seamless services for our clients. Because we do have international clients where we run, for example, critical infrastructure for an American hospital chain system. You can imagine 24/7, a hospital which is expecting 99.9%, let's say, availability of all the servers and applications. Our teams are working and continuing their activities in an uninterrupted way. That's why I'm very thankful for the great job what our employees have done. I'm also thankful for their family members who are supporting them. As you know that all of us, you as well, myself as well, we have been also asked to work at home. And what does it mean if around the clock, you have a situation which we have never faced before, and kids are running around the corner, and so that means the challenging situation did create situations which we have never seen before, and that's why Absolutely. This is a learning phase and will help us as well how to cope in the future with similar situations.
But compliments, Laszlo. I think it's commendable work that you have done here in India, and to T-Systems for taking such good care of the employees, Laszlo. In fact, coming to the next question, Laszlo, what you mentioned earlier, since you have a large workforce here in India, Laszlo, how do you foresee now going ahead? What is going to be the new normal? What is going to be, how is it going to be? Would you be working from home, or it would be a hybrid model? If you could explain what are the plans for the future, I think that will be helpful for our viewers also.
Yes, Rajesh, as the situation evolves, we are learning every day, and we hear also different, let's say, approaches, how different, even giant companies are approaching this situation, and some of them are asking employees, okay, get prepared to come back. I personally believe that the future will be a hybrid one. We all, managers, leaders, will need to work and to support our organizations to get prepared for these, let's say, hybrid model. Work from home is certainly possible, but we also learned that is not working in silos is not something which is supporting effective collaboration. And also, when we speak about the necessary drives which are in automation and innovation and working efficiently with high productivity, people need and they want to meet. And that's why we will have to find ways, and on this direction is also my company working, that we are creating the workplace where employees feel safe, at the same time comfortable to work wherever they believe that their safety is given, and they can create the highest value for the organization, but also for themselves. That's why we are inviting our employees who are double vaccinated to join the office. Certainly we do have, let's say, the rules of 50% occupation, the maximum. Today we have around good 10+% of our employees coming willingly to the office. The leadership team is working out of the office, and HR team, admins, IT, and so on, certainly coming to support our employees who are working remotely. But I do see personally, and also from our company side, we are working together with our central organization to work on we call it the new normal, which means that there will be also guidance given to all the group entities, the group companies. Imagine within, as I said, Deutsche Telekom is about 230,000 employees worldwide. And we are present in more than 60 countries now. T-Systems is with about 27,000 or close to 30,000 employees present in 20 countries. We are not going to have, the same rules in all countries. We have to adjust ourselves also to the local situation, to the local needs. But the future will be a hybrid one. That's which I'm convinced about it, and based on the consolidated informations we are collecting and discussing in the group and also in our local country organizations, that we will certainly do something which fits to the local needs and to the local situations. We do have also, as you know very well, other cultural and other, let's say, environmental parameters which we have here, considering infrastructure, considering availability of transportation, and so on. That means all these aspects need to be considered, but we will have our office used in a way of having more get-together for innovative discussions, for review meetings, for leadership workshops, and then use the workspace as a place of innovation hub, and giving the employees also the feeling that this is the place where creativity is can be faster generated, and so we adapt ourselves certainly on the constantly evolving new situation. But I believe that the future, as also in our business, we see also how the business evolves, and many of our clients are more looking now for digital solutions, for solutions which are leading them to bring their applications and their platforms into the cloud. So that means we adjust ourselves as well, and that's good.
Right. In fact, that brings me to the next question also, Laszlo, what you rightly mentioned, digitization, cloud, data usage. Now, especially this has really got a big boost due to the pandemic. But for organizations like T-Systems to actually utilize such opportunities, you need also the workforce to be trained to utilize this opportunities, Laszlo. So what is T-Systems doing here so that your workforce can seize this opportunity?
Yeah, good question, Rajesh. And this is, I believe, is not only for T-Systems very important, but for all of our partner companies, for the competition, and in order to serve our client with the best, is finding the right talents, but not only finding, but also keeping them. Right. It's one of the challenges of our days. But at the same time, organizations are expected to be prepared to invest in their people. Investing in their people by training them, helping them to reskill, helping them also to upskill, and bringing them basically also closer to the current needs which we see in the market. You said digitization and cloud. These are the two bigger, let's say, drivers which we just realized over the last, let's say, 1.5 years, that the world has changed completely, and the needs, the market, the trends as well are not very much in line with it, and that's why how we do these, Rajesh, as I said at the beginning, for us, people are the most important. So we invest in people, we invest to find the right talents, to motivate them, train them, to keep them engaged. We have a global, luckily a global organization where we have platforms where we can exchange knowledge, experience, sharing values. And we certainly, today, we don't have the possibilities to travel yet. But already in the last years, we have started cross-collaboration programs, which is helping our employees to travel to other countries, spend 6 months, 12 months time working with other cultures together, working in customer-facing engagement on this way, and reaching also their, let's say, their knowledge level, their experience. At the same time, it's a enrichment of our organization to have a well globally structured and interacting teams. Today we do have all these platforms. you have asked me to join your session on Microsoft Teams. There are many other tools, Zoom and you know, from other platforms offered. Did we have all these 1.5 years ago? Not. So, and you know, these tools are helping us, but at the same time, we as human beings need to contribute and to help that this journey continues. Adding value to us is something which is helping us also to make our life tomorrow easier. So investing in people is in training. Just met yesterday 28 freshers who joined our organization last week. Young, great mindset people who are fresh in our organization, and I'm convinced that they are hungry to learn from us, but I'm also confident that we will get back the value from them by helping us with their passion, with their energy, with their talents, and will delight our customers.
Absolutely. Very nice, Laszlo. Very good to hear these statements. And I think this is the right approach also the companies should follow. Laszlo, let's go back to Germany a little bit. So in June this year, Laszlo, the German Parliament passed a Supply Chain Act, which paves the way for stricter regulation that can force also large companies to pay fines up to 2% of their annual global turnover if they violate these laws or rules. Now, do you think this will have some impact on the Indian business of German companies also, Laszlo?
Look, honestly, I have heard about these laws, certainly, and I did not go into details because I remember that in 2019, before the year closed, I was running here an audit from my Deutsche Telekom headquarters exactly to this topic, how we follow, how compliant we are with these ethics, and how well we are, let's say, following the principles of our group company, which we put very high, let's say, very high interest and attention on these to bring additional values also in the environment where we are working. And that's why I do believe that our organization is quite ahead with these. That means the law which was, let's say, placed and announced, it's not a surprise, or it's not bringing a challenge for my organization. But if you ask me, certainly for many other organizations will be a certain additional task, challenge. But if I know the numbers, this is valid for organizations with more than 3,000 employees and starting from 2023. And then 1 year later will be valid for companies with plus 1,000 employees. Starting from 2024. That's why I believe that there is still time until this law will be applied here in India, or will be followed. Will have to be followed by especially German companies. If I know, I believe UK and another country in Europe have already started these earlier.
Right.
But yes, I do see additional tasks. I do see certain challenges. I'm happy to share the experience of our organization, how we dealt with it, how we are following these principles, and how we are ensuring that we are compliant by working also with our suppliers, ensuring that all the principles, the ethics, and these norms are fulfilled, which is certainly a higher effort, but that's, I consider, also a contribution of German organization in India to help that we can fill certain gaps, which unfortunately are still there in our, let's say, society and environment.
Right. Laszlo, it's been a pleasure interacting with you, and coming to the last question for today, Laszlo. The last 16 to 17 months have been actually quite challenging for the CEOs and heads of the organization. What we would like to understand from you, or what we would like you to share, Laszlo, is 3 leadership tips from your side. How can organizations overcome these challenges due to unpredictability, unprecedented times? And I'm sure these tips would also be of extreme value to our viewers and the German CEOs here in India.
Yeah, these are the great and always valid questions. And if I may just use and speak out my honest and my personal, let's say, advice, it's yes, the critical situation which we face has waken up some of us, has given us certain signals that we have to be even more careful and more, let's say, taking care about what and how we are doing. But generally, if I'm talking about strategies and fast adoption of on changes, follow the very simple principles. Invest in your people. Keep your people as the most important asset. As any organization, if we analyze and we want to and we are going to realize that at the end of the day, great companies are made by great people, and that's why it is invest in the people. And maybe second one is make your strategies of your company around your people, based on your resources and their capabilities, and not in the opposite way. Try to not force things without giving them the chance that you have helped them. And I believe that going with these very simple principles, investing in people and making the strategy of your company based on your resources and capabilities, then you get the best value out of them. And last but not least, yes, we need to walk our talk. That means we need to lead by example. And that's why I said these are probably simple statements or advices which I'm giving, but doing this job now for the last 3 decades and having paid tax already in more than 5 countries and lived in many different time zones, I'm convinced about these very simple 3 elements, which motivates me to continue and also enjoy what I'm doing with great people around me. I cannot hear you with your voice.
Yeah. No. Thank you, Laszlo. I think great. Thanks for these tips. And I would just like to sum it up. I think a very strong statement, but you made great companies are made by great people. So invest in the people, keep people as the focus, then make your strategies around the people and the resources available. And the third one, walk your talk. I think these are excellent statements, and you've shared your practical experience, Laszlo. And Laszlo, on behalf of the German Engineering Federation, VDMA, and all our members, wishing T-Systems excellent business in India. And you also mentioned earlier you have expansion plans, so wishing that all your expansion plans in India are fulfilled, and continue the good work T-System is doing here in India, Laszlo.
Thank you, Rajesh, for this conversation, and I do wish as well you. And I'm very proud about also your achievements. I know that you have also great background, and you have done a lot for building bridges between Germany and India. And I do also congratulate you and to your organization for the great work. Please continue so. Never give up. and there are many other young talents around us who will certainly have the chance to learn from you and helping also our nations to come forward and to be better.
Thank you. Thank you so much for these kind words and for the words of encouragement, Laszlo. And let's stay in touch and all the very best, Laszlo. Thank you.
We'll stay in touch. We'll keep in touch. Thank you, Andrews. All the best.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.